Who are you? Why are you asking? Why do you want to know? I was really frustrated. Just imagine how I looked 10 years ago. Even now, I still look very small and relatively young. I took a risk to go so. And just to put this into context, from Abuja to Gusau is 7 hours by road, under 42 degrees centigrade. From Gusau to Anka is 4 hours. The community's name was Bagega, and from Anka to Bagega is another 4.5 hours. But this time, there was no road, only a pathway. So it's either you get on a donkey, a horse, a motorbike. So I got on a motorbike, and finally I arrived at Bagega community. One, I found out that over 700 children had actually died 2 years ago. So what it meant was the media underreported it. Two, 1,500 children below 5 years were very sick and at the verge of losing their life. Three, no single cent or kobo of the billions of dollars released 2 years ago got to this community. I sat down speaking to grandmothers that have lost 15 children in a household. I spoke to a mother that have lost 4 children, and they keep telling me that the children came from God and have returned to God. In my journey, I was trying to understand what was the cause of this death. At that time, local miners were engaged using lead and bringing it to the household to process. They got to contaminate their water and their soil, and children who were crawling, eating soil, got really sick, and a lot of them died. And because I was really curious and wanting to engage the local miners, so I was told that I have to take another 2 hours trip on a motorbike deep into the forest, which I did. On getting the mining site deep into the forest, I saw economic activities ongoing. In my wildest imagination, I never knew that deep into Nigerian forest, people actually reside there, mine gold, and actually transact. I engaged these local miners with my little knowledge of speaking Hausa, and maybe just to also pause and tell you, the audience, that as much as I speak like a Hausa Fulani man, look like a Hausa Fulani, I am not a Hausa Fulani. I'm neither from the south, east, west, or north. I am Nigerian. Please accept me like that. I came back to Abuja with so much knowledge and information. I could not sleep for days because the eyes of these grandmothers, mothers, and the local miners keep flashing in my dreams. I called my friends together, bought them ice cream, and I told them that we needed to ensure that the voices and the plight of these people come to global attention. We agreed that we would aggregate the information and knowledge I have, create a social media campaign with a hashtag called Save Bagega, and launch the campaign getting citizens to sign a petition to the president and rise to the occasion. We started our campaign on Twitter with the hashtag Save Bagega. In less than 48 hours, it moved from Twitter to Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, VOA, and DW. From international media, our local media started reporting the story. And in less than 72 hours, the then President Goodluck Jonathan, approved and released a sum of $5.3 million, which is close to £1 billion. At this time, we were really excited that in less than 6 months, our campaign has gotten attention that is needed. But I was conscious that 2 years before now, billions were released, but none of them found their way to this community. What we did, most importantly, was also to prepare the community members, make them understand what this money was meant to deliver on and what were their role in ensuring justice. So I started engaging the Ministry of Finance to ensure that this money got disbursed. So we followed, and by the way, this was how we started the campaign, Follow the Money. So from Save Bagega, we transitioned into Follow the Money. and then ensuring that government disbursed these resources moved from Abuja to Gusau to Anka and down to Bagega community. Today, it will take you less than 1 hour to travel from Anka to Bagega because government also saw the plight of how people were moving around and doing business and provided them with basic amenities. And with the campaign I have run, it now became a global movement, one of the fastest growing in Africa, currently in 10 countries and with over 10,000 members. But in all of this journey, I was very conscious to always tell myself that it wasn't about me. It was about the things I believe in and the passion that I have and the voices that I'd always served and no one even knew they ever existed. The world wanted to learn from my experience and taking risks, engaging citizens, dialoguing with government, and also mass mobilizing active citizens using technology. The United States Department engaged me and took me around the world. First, we started in Ghana, we went to Europe, and then Southeast Asia. I'd like to stress the Southeast Asia experience. They wanted me to go to Cambodia to train about 300 emerging young leaders. Nigerian government and the Cambodian government don't have a bilateral relationship. To get a visa to Cambodia, I have to travel to Dubai or I go to the United States of America. I told the officials of the United States Department that I would not fly to Dubai or I would not go to America just to get a visa. If they can't find a way to take me with my Nigerian ordinary passport to Cambodia, then I would remain and continue my work in Nigeria. Interestingly, I am not sure how they went about it. And I'm sharing this so you understand that first, before you are honored, you must honor yourself and value yourself. I'm not sure what they did, but they pulled a diplomatic stunt, got me clearance on Emirates Airline with my ordinary passport without a visa, flew for 2 days, canvassed in different continents, got to Cambodia and spent just 2 minutes clearing immigration and customs, and straight to the ambassador's residence. I engaged over 300 young people, spending 3 days in Cambodia. And just in Cambodia, I now understood that truly there is something in Nigeria for Nigerians that a lot of us don't even know about. In my course of work, I've gotten awards, I've gotten recognition. I've sat down with world leaders, heads of state and heads of government. I've shared my ideas, I've shared my thoughts, and I've given them advice. And in all of this, what has given me a seat on the table? Because a lot of young people, when they talk about what is next, they always say they want a seat on the table. Being young alone would not guarantee you a seat on the table. What are the values? What are the ideas? What have you done? What would earn you that seat on the table? And I tell people, I come with my own table and chair, and I invite you to sit on them. In March, I turned 35, and I told the world that I'm no longer a youth, and please don't call me a youth. And I was deliberate about it because we have a lost and forgotten generation between 40 to 55 who are still trying to find their place in history and the Nigerian journey. I don't want to be caught in that web. When I sit and I try to reflect on what is next, my simple answer is politics. The poet that came up stage talked about your permanent voters card. How are you using your permanent voters card? How are you mobilizing? How are you consolidating? I'd committed that I would try to mobilize 40 million youths to vote 2023. I'm not saying that I would even tell them who to vote for, but at least let us try to reduce voter apathy. A lot of my friends around the world always say that if I had political power for the past 15 years, that I've been an activist and leading non-for-profit organization, probably I would have done better than where I am today. And come to think of it, if truly we must move Nigeria forward, invest in renewable energy, stop desert encroachment, all the decisions that are taken, either at COP meeting or at the Federal Executive Council meeting or at the State Executive Council meeting, are all tied to politics. And you and I, before now, probably would say politics is dirty. I say no. The current players are dirty. So as we go into 2023 and as we think about what is next, my simple answer is please play politics. For the past 2 years, I've been attending ward meetings in my state. Most people that attend this meeting are uneducated, ill-informed, but those are the people that would inform the delegates during indirect primaries that would provide you with either the deep blue sea or the lion's den. So if you continue to speak this kind of English that I speak and wear really nice clothes and don't go to ward meetings and inform the conversation, do not become members of those delegates or say you would not play politics by joining political parties, then don't expect any change because what you are doing is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So I leave you by saying that what is next is politics. Let us play it. Yes, we would make mistakes, but I believe that in those mistakes there are lessons that would be learned. And probably we would transition and leave Nigeria to a more younger and vibrant generation. Thank you.